Wendy, thank you for sending me that. I really appreciate it. Thank you.
You're welcome.
Wendy, listen, thank you very much for writing those up.
You're welcome.
I always should thank you for cashing my one tax check. I have two more I gotta send you. Yeah. I sent you the little one. The other two I'm like crying over.
I think we're all here, not Fred?
Yeah,
Yep,
Lenny.
in about one minute, we'll have Lenny lead us in the pledge.
Before we start, Wendy, the agenda you attached the link, that's the latest?
I do believe so, yes. I don't think there was any changes after that. I have not been back on to make any changes since 3:30-ish, Margaret, yes?
Yeah, that's right. That's the most recent one you have is the one Wendy sent out.
Oh, that's great. You're doing, Gene. That's wonderful. Ready? Can we do one for the other person we talked about soon?
Who?
It's not. Is it Palmetier?
Oh, Jeannie. Jeannie.
Yeah. Yep, we'll do it the next meeting.
I really would like to do that. She did so much for the community. Everybody loved her. I remember as a little kid going to Brunch and Munch, and I really would like to see her record.
Yeah, no, we'll get that taken care of.
I agree. I absolutely agree.
Yeah,
Jeannie was a sweetheart.
she was. She took care of a lot of seniors too, I understand.
Yes, and that's what ultimately at the end she posted with.
Oh,
Again, at 7 o'clock, Lenny, would you please lead us in the pledge?
Okay. I don't know if you can see me or not, but
That's
I
okay.
pledge allegiance
To the flag
of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Len. So as we get started tonight, Sean, are you on?
Yes, can you hear me?
Yes, would you start us off with the first proclamation, please?
Sure. Whereas Louis Charles DeStacy Jr., a lifelong resident of the town of Lloyd, was taken from our midst on February 24, 2021. And whereas Louis C. DeStacy Jr. was married to the late Mary Millette in 1960, and they were married for 52 years. And whereas Louis C. DeStacy Jr. graduated Highland High School in 1955 at the top of his class. And whereas Louis C. DeStacy Jr. attended Rider College on a full scholarship, graduating in 1959 with a degree in accounting. And whereas Louis C. DeStacy Jr. went to work for U.S. Steel in Pittsburgh. And whereas Louis C. DeStacy Jr. in 1962 decided to go to law school at Villanova Law, where he received such a high score on his LSATs, he received a full scholarship. And whereas Louis C. DeStacy Jr. moved his family to Rochester, New York, and went to work for Lawyers Cooperative Publishing Company, writing for Carmody Waite Publications. And whereas Louis C. DeStacy Jr. in 1967 moved back to Highland and went to work as an associate for Stewart Chancellor Law Firm until 1980. And whereas Louis C. DeStacy Jr. joined the firm of Taraka, Moriello, and Canino, which became Taraka, Moriello, Canino, and DeStacy, and then DeStacy, Moriello, and finally DeStacy, Moriello, and Murphy as it is today. And whereas Louis C. DeStacy Jr. was the town of Lloyd attorney for 40 years. And whereas Louis C. DeStacy Jr. joined the Poughkeepsie, New York course in the early 70s, and whereas Louis C. DeStacy Jr. joined the Footlighters Quartet in 1975. And whereas Louis C. DeStacy Jr. enjoyed the barbershop quartet for over 30 years, the quartet family was a big part of his life. They practiced every week at each other's homes, attended conventions with their families, and became an extended family. And whereas Louis C. DeStacy Jr. played tennis every Sunday with his lawyer friends, and whereas Louis C. DeStacy Jr. and his never-ending knowledge of the law and everything Highland will be deeply missed by those who worked with him and for him. And whereas Louis C. DeStacy Jr. was so smart, he was our Google. And whereas Louis C. DeStacy Jr. will be deeply missed and forever remembered by his community, friends, and family. Now, therefore, be it resolved that this regular meeting of March 17th, 2021 of the Town of Lloyd Town Board be open in his memory, in the memory of Louis C. DeStacy Jr., and be it further resolved that a certified copy of this resolution will be delivered to his daughter, Krista DeStacy Rizzo, her husband, Lenny Rizzo, and their daughters, Kayla and Luca, with the deepest sympathy of this town board of the Town of Lloyd.
Sean, thank you very much. He'll be greatly missed.
Yeah, he was such a kind, nice man, and I've got such great memories of him as a kid. And I know the family's hurting, so thanks, everyone.
He was a waiter here at the Wood, not the Wood, but it was Hotel de Prima. He used to always tell me stories about it.
Yeah, he worked summers there, right, for a long time.
Yeah. Yep.
We wish we could have taken his knowledge and just bundled it up and saved it for the future. It just was amazing.
Yeah.
When I first went on the town board many years ago, one of the meetings, I got to sit between John Decker and Dave Murphy, and Lou was our attorney. And I can only echo that. The man was brilliant when it came to town law and knowing how to handle that whole procedure. I would always hope that some of it rubbed off on me by osmosis. He was quite the scholar.
So I met with Krista, his daughter, today to help us put this proclamation together. And that's where the line came from. He was so smart. He was our Google. She said that they would ask him, hey, Dad, how do you spell this? And he didn't think twice, and he'd spell it out for him. Hey, Dad, what does this mean? He didn't think twice, and he told him what it meant. So
He had that computer chip in him, boy, let me tell you.
I think so, yeah. He was a great man.
Okay. Lenny, would you read the second proclamation, please?
All right, can you hear me?
Yes, we can.
Proclamation, Gene H. Robinson. Memorial Resolution. Whereas Gene H. Robinson, a lifelong resident of the town of Lloyd, was taken from our midst on March 14th, 2021. And whereas Gene H. Robinson grew up on North Road in Highland, and whereas Gene H. Robinson was married to Linda LaForge Robinson, for which would have been 50 years on March 21st. And whereas Gene H. Robinson and his family opened William H. Robinson and Son Refuse Service in 1935. And whereas Gene H. Robinson eventually changed it to Robinson's Refuse Service and operated it with his wife, Linda. And whereas Gene H. Robinson was a star football player on Bob Relier's Highland High School undefeated team in 56 to 60. And whereas Gene H. Robinson also played baseball and track, whereas Gene H. Robinson was a member of the Elks Club in New Paltz, and whereas Gene H. Robinson was a devoted Giants fan, and whereas Gene H. Robinson loved playing cards, fishing, barbecuing, sharing a beer with friends and family, and telling old stories, and whereas Gene H. Robinson will be deeply missed by his community, friends, and family. And now, therefore, be it resolved that this town meeting of March 17th, 2021 of the Town of Lloyd Town Board be opened in memory of Gene H. Robinson, and be it further resolved that a certificate of copy of this resolution is delivered to his family with the deepest sympathies of this town board and the town of Lloyd. Thank you all very much.
Thanks, Dan. That was
Thank you very
hard
much for
for
that.
you. I tell you, I remember sitting with Gene, watching the old football videos, watching my dad and some of you guys in them, in his den, and it was so uplifting. And I always remember my dad telling me a story about them in high school and their cars, and I think I got it right. I'm not sure if I do. Freddie, you, me, or Lenny could correct me. He had a car, and they used to nickname it the Purple People Eater. Is that correct?
That's correct.
That's correct. What a great guy. He'll be definitely missed. And, we lost so many forefathers in the last year. It's so sad.
Gene was bigger than life itself.
He was.
Lenny, thank you very much. Okay.
You guys.
To get started tonight, we've completed the for the last meeting, the police reform committee piece. I need a motion to open the public hearing for that this evening,
Ocean.
and I need a second.
Second,
Okay, the motion is second. The public hearing is open. Okay, reports. Building department, Dave.
me, right?
Yeah, I'm sorry.
I'm
Claire.
gonna Yeah, hang on, I have it. So last night we met, I want to make sure I have it here. Okay. So last night we met for the villages, had a tri-board meeting, just an informative meeting to kind of let everybody know on the town board and just to get some communication going with the planning board as well as the town board as to what the future possibly will hold. So that happened last night, and let me just say, I really encourage everyone to, please get on those virtual Zoom, the WebEx meetings with that, so that, everyone can kind of get an idea of what's going on, because 9W is just a crazy busy place right now, with what's going on, and everyone's opinion should be heard. Tomorrow night starts the workshop meeting, and it's at 5:30 in the afternoon. The things that will be on it are Stewart's, old businesses, the Stewart site plan. Applicant is proposing a new typical Stewart shop convenience store. Excuse me, with a self service gasoline. And then there's a new business, is a lot line revision, and that's up at Mountainside Woods. And then public hearing is Mike Sereni's, what they did over by Mike's house over off of Vineyard Avenue. They're also doing a lot line revision. Silver Gardens is back in front of the board tomorrow. And they are proposing to construct a 3-story, 55,000 square foot affordable rental housing, just like the one that they have currently. We delivered there actually for Project Resilience, because that's kind of the only reason I knew that was really there. And then the views keeps, they're back in, but they have a lot to do. So, and that's what I have.
Okay, Claire, thank you. I would implore everyone, all of us on the town board, to start tuning in on these planning board workshops and meetings. I believe, if I'm correct, to call Dave to have us put on the link so that we can attend these meetings. Len, do you have anything current with the EDC? Have they started up yet?
I'll tell you the truth, no. If Charlie or Nikki are on, maybe they have something, but I do not.
Okay. Well, we can. I need to reach out to Charlie tomorrow anyway, so I will touch base with him. I have nothing new in fire. Joe, Highland Central School District.
Yeah, there's a lot going on. I mean, they had a meeting about bringing the kids back 4 days a week. I know they're going to start kindergarten back 4 days a week. Just talk about 1st through 12. They're going to discuss it some more and hopefully make a determination sometime in April. One of the issues is a cost factor is dividers. If you do bring them all back, they have to have dividers at the desks, which is a lot of money. Those dividers cost a lot of money. Somewhere between, probably outfit a school, between 20 and 40,000. So it's a lot. The other thing is that those 4 days a week and they have to cut down on class sizes. Does it impact, students for a high school that have Regis level classes? Does it mean that the teachers change in April? So they have a lot to consider. They're getting ready for budget season. They hired a new assistant superintendent. The name forgets me, sort of their finance, which is great. And state testing is on. Regents is, they're not going to count them. They realize they can't give them this 3 through 8 standardized tests. The Regents can't be done, over online. So only the kids that came in person. So I think the Regents are going to, if they give them, this is from the state level, it's just going to be based on, testing for knowledge, not for a pass fail. The 6 through 8, basically the same thing. They're going to use it as a testing of knowledge, benchmarking where the kids are, but not use those numbers for the kids. And there's talk through the state that they only made through this 3 through 8 ELA math and 4 and 8 science. Only use the part 1 where the science is only part 1. They're not going to have the practicum. So that's kind of where we're at.
Okay, good.
Other thing, could we mention also, because I see it on Route 9W, they're looking for bus drivers again, right? Are they probably having a hard time filling positions, I was thinking.
Yeah, bus drivers are really hard to come by. I mean, every district's hurting with that, but they are. So if you need a job and you want to drive a bus,
I know, that's why I figured you'd shout it out for them, you know?
yeah, that's a great call. I know it's really hard.
Okay, thank you. Lenny, bring us up to speed where we are currently and with down at the park.
Well, the regular Highland Landing stuff is, it's still much too wet down there to do anything. We've got a few things planned to get started to finish up the stairs and get those railings up. Then we have some stone and things we got to put on the back wall. I've got a couple people that said they want to help do that, where we put those lights by the fence over by the railroad tracks. And we're going to put something else on some sort of ground cover. I'm going to say Pachysandra, but don't quote me. And we got a little bit more grass to plant over there. So when it dries up a little bit more, we'll kind of get started on that stuff. And we still have to finish up where that rock is, where the plaque for Bob Shepherd's going to go. So we got a little bit more to do there. Other than that, other than getting rid of the seagulls and the geese, and I'll probably get nasty letters over that, everything is pretty good, and hopefully the grass will come in. We treated it again last fall, and we might do some more to it this spring. So that's it as far as the Highland Landing goes.
Okay. Anything, maybe bring the board up to speed where we are with the bore?
Okay. As far as the bore goes, over a month and a half ago or so, they sent CSX. They wanted diagrams of this, that, the other thing, and what may have you. Well, after a month and a half, or almost 2 months, they sent them back and said they had to be in color. So that was done and sent back to them on Friday. So this should be the last piece of the puzzle. And this poor guy, he's ready to go. He's chomping at the bit because good weather's coming. This was the job, to do over the winter, especially the first part of the winter when everything was good. So he said just as soon as he gets it back, it's, full speed ahead and damn the torpedoes or whatever the devil that captain said.
Could keep us posted. Let's see, Hudson 7, Russ, are you on? Okay, Lenny, we'll go to lights. He can bring us up to speed where we are with our lighting projects.
Okay, if anybody has an opportunity after dark to take a ride down Haviland Road, take your sunglasses. The lights have been put up on Haviland Road. That actually came out better than good. Other than the Haviland Road project, I got a call from the vice chairman of the homeowners association up at yeah, I'm okay. Bridgeview, there were 4 lights that were out, plus there were some lights that were damaged. So I got a hold of Central Hudson. I gave them the 4 light numbers. They'll change the bulbs and the sensor, but any damage that's to any of the lights, it's not the town's, it belongs to the homeowners association. That's what I was told about that. So that's where we are with that.
Great, thank you. Claire, you've given your report on planning board. Do you have anything else to add?
I don't think so. I was thinking about it, but I don't think so.
All right. I have nothing to report on police except that we'll get to the restore of justice piece in a little bit when we close the public hearing. Jimmy's on if you have any questions. Lenny, anything new with the rail trail? I know we're still battling the winter.
Yeah, no, I turned my time over to Mr. Belizzi. I know he's on.
He's on.
I'm on. So the population on the rail trail is picking up as the weather gets better. It's been appreciated that it's been plowed all winter, so they have someplace to go. If you're out on the trail now, out by Black Creek in our old rail bed, we have the Delhi Rovers have started their work on the stone staircase coming up from the old rail bed onto the new rail trail. They're actually hauling up the stone from the south side of the trail, cutting it down there, bringing it up, and then bring it down. There'll be 22 steps to get up from the old rail bed to the new trail. So it's pretty exciting, and you can go there and watch them work. And at some point, they will have ask for volunteers to help do things, but that'd be in the coming weeks.
It's like watching old stonemasons work.
Yeah, they're drilling and splitting the rock and hauling it up, and it's a pretty amazing process.
How do y'all get your glasses to not glare?
What?
And how do you all get your glasses to not glare?
I don't know. Well, I have a Mac, you know. Once you have a Mac, you know.
I think that might be the answer. Lenny, anything on water and sewer for tonight?
All right, our last water and sewer meeting was basically about everything that we went over last night in that tri-board meeting, but
Okay.
for everybody that wasn't there, discuss things that have to be done for the water. One of the things is to enlarge the size of the pumps that are on Vineyard Avenue, and then we have to do change the pumps in the not the pumps, the impellers on one of the pump stations. But anything that needs to be done because of that project is on the builder's budget. So it's of no expense to the town, but they've decided they can get the fire protection they need instead of building another water tower through changing these pumps. So that's, the short of it, but we'll see what happens as it goes on. But like Claire had said before, that process is going on. So as things come up, we'll bring them up to speed. But that was our entire water and sewer meeting was about that.
Good, thank you very much. Michael, anything new with zoning?
I wanted to tell you.
So this,
Yeah, can you hear me?
yes.
Okay. They had about 5 applicants. They had public hearing. 136 Bellevue Road, there was a sublot divided into 2 parcels. That was approved. At 480 Route 299, they were seeking an area variance, and it was granted. They were asking for 50% of a lot, where 40% lot coverage is permitted. And then on Upper North Road, there was another applicant seeking an area variance to construct a warehouse, and he was looking for relief for 15 feet for rear yard setback on it. And then on Perkinsville Road, there was another area variance, and the applicant was looking for side yard relief to construct a garage and above living space. Also, last night, when our meeting was going on with the planning board and the town board, I was muted and I wasn't able to what I wanted to say. And there was one important issue I really like to get out to our board members, and it's that intersection where Argent Drive is gonna be offset with Mayor Drive with 2 lights, 2 traffic lights possibly, and they're only like 200 feet apart. And what I see, coming out of Argent Drive, you might have 40, you have 2 lanes that are going to be able to go south. So you're going to have a stacking of about up to 40 to 50 cars. Now, when they make that left turn towards Mayor Drive, you could only stack maybe 8 cars, and I'll say 10 cars. You know, they're saying the lights will be able to handle that. But I just like to say, in the past with that intersection, when DOT set up those lights, there was a lot of accidents because the lights weren't done. I don't want to say properly, but they could have been done better. A lot of cars through that intersection were rolled off the road, and they ended up in Hannaford's parking lot. I've seen that several times, and then finally they fixed that. But that intersection is, you know, there's a lot more coming down the pipe there. And I think the planning board's got to be real studious about it. The developers say nothing could be done about it. Not that it can't be done, it's difficult. Well, we look over at Tilson Avenue. I know it's a different project, but what we're going to do there is we're going to lower the grade of Tilson Avenue, and we're going to build a road over a creek to line up with another, with Top Drive. And that's only a secondary road. So up there, I think it's very important because that's going to affect the quality of life in our area. We'll have 4 or 5 lights within a mile of each other. We got the bridge. We got Sterling Gardens, Silver Gardens wants to come in. We got Bridgeview. We got the mall. We got a lot of cars. So by not being able to stack cars, it can be a problem. All right. So I just wanted to make that known how I felt.
Great
right.
points, Mike.
I think that's great. Excellent points, Mike. And
Thanks, Mike.
what we should do tomorrow is get a hold of Dave and because you weren't able to speak, either as early as the workshop, make your points known and get them in front of that board because you're hitting on excellent.
Yeah, and we did talk about
Wait, Joe. So one more thing, Joe. I just want to have one more thought. I'm sorry, Joe.
That's okay, Mike.
The neighbors, the people that live in that area, they've gotten petitions. They've been squawking. They live there. They know better than all of us, and we have to listen. We have to listen to what they're saying. I'm done. Go ahead, Joe. I'm sorry.
Thanks.
Right. Mike, you make up great points. And, I know I talked to some of the neighbors. I know we put it in the paper. We had it posted on our website. But, we really need to think about communication, especially we're on Zoom. I think that we really got to do a better job getting things out there to people. I don't know how really to go about that, but a lot of them told me they didn't know about the meeting. But that was brought up, Mike, I did bring it up about aligning the intersection. They kind of skated around it and talked about it. But that to me is a real deal breaker. To me, that's, and again, like you said, we're able to do Tilson Avenue. And, one of their things are, they can build it. Well, like you said, if you're able to do what you need to do, then you could do what you need to do to align up those two intersections. So I think that's something we really need to talk about, especially in the meeting last night. They talked about how, the road just Chapel Hill, that intersection is so bad and backed up, and they acknowledge that. And it could help ease that traffic because when you put these homes up there, all that traffic's going to go through development. I mean, if you guys remember, that community came to us and put the stop signs in because people are going so fast, and now you're going to add another 200 and something bungalows there with maybe 2 people in each household going through there to get to Hannaford's and going back to come home. I think it's something. The traffic is really a big issue, but I'm sure our planning board will do a great job. They're going to do the part 2, and then they'll figure out what type of impact and how to mediate it. So I'm have confidence.
Thank you. And then again, to go back, I think that it behooves all of us to start to get at least listen and be able at least to sit and listen and to what's going on in both the workshops and the regular board meetings going forward. So we're all up to speed with this. I think that's very important.
Fred, in considering they can do it from their computer, right? It just makes it so much easier for everybody. And they can even dial in. Also, I want to just say one thing. because you guys think about it, the Tilson Avenue, people are stopping me left and right, and I'm sure they are for the other councilmen and probably calling into Fred's office. You know, somebody asked me the other day, what are they doing? So I think people just really aren't sure what they're doing on Tilson Avenue, even though it's been in front of the town for, I don't know, 8 years, right?
Everybody on Tilson Avenue should know because most of them have all received.
Let me interrupt here. The Tilson
I'm
Avenue
sorry.
project has been
Other
going on since
residents.
1999.
Oh, there you go. So more
That's
than,
when we got the grant, 1999.
yeah. So,
Okay.
you know, let's just let everybody know. You will say it on the meeting. I don't know who's on, but just
And
that,
we have put it on, we put it on Facebook, we put it up on the website, what's going on, because there was some, chatter about like, why are they cutting the
I
trees
know.
down? This is a project, this is a town grant.
That's going to
It's
be
been
nice
going
for
on
the
since
town.
1999. So we are grateful that it has finally moved forward, and it's going to be a great project.
And that's exactly what I told somebody the other day. I was out walking and they stopped me and they said, what are they doing? Why are they cutting those trees down? I said, it's going to be really nice when it's done, so.
So Freddie, Claire brought up a good point about the meetings. Many of us, I know on the board, we talk, and I know most of us have been vaccinated now and we're going to be fine. But I don't know your situation, but can we think about April coming back to the town board and start having our meetings and having more normalcy? I know that they're lifting the 6 foot to 3 foot. The restaurants, the capacity is getting bigger. So I think it's, safe time to really reconsider having our meetings back. Back at the town board.
I'm sure, we can certainly start to have that discussion amongst ourselves. I agree.
Yeah. The only hardship I'm going to have is that you guys made that workshop a little early, but we'll see.
Okay. Wendy, at what point do I close the public hearing? Because I don't think I've done one of those in a long time.
So we
I'm sorry. I think we should ask if anybody has any comment. If anybody has any questions or comments regarding the subject matter.
No, I didn't. I was going to do that. The question was, at what point do I close? I wasn't looking to close it.
Well, I'll just close it at the end. Brett, well, I'll just close it at the end and then give an opportunity at the end too if somebody comes in late.
That's good. That works. Okay. Is there any old business to come before the board tonight?
Yeah, I'm just curious about two things. I know you guys met with CPL about the pavilion. Where are we at with that? If anybody knows, if not,
Lenny. I guess Lenny, you talk to it because you know where we are. We've got as we all know, we've got proposals from CPL at this point, and then Lenny, why don't you talk to what has to happen next with Richie and the corner and grading?
All right.
Based on the weather and his schedule.
When I spoke to Mike, he said that he had talked to Richie, and Richie said he'd help get those stumps out of there and move the fence. And we need to do that. Then we need to get over there and find out which is the best route to get to the sewer line and the water line, and find out how high we have to either raise the base of this thing, or then you'd have to go for a pump station, one of the two. But it definitely needs to be raised some. So that's kind of the next step. I talked to CPL. He said that he would do absolutely as much as he could as far as the design element, and he would contribute to the town as much as the company could. For those of you that don't know this, when we did the bulkhead, they did all the engineering on the bulkhead down at the park, and that was he turned that in. It was like about $90-some thousand. It was like an in-kind grant. So, he's willing to work with us somewhat. I talked to that one builder out there in Connecticut, and we've had quite a few conversations about this, that, and the other thing, and the size, even though I took a shot at it, just so he could lay something out and he'll get back to us so we could find out what that gentleman would want to construct this thing, and then we can go out for bids from there. But the bottom line is we have to find more money. So that's kind of why I went on with him. And I told him probably nothing's going to get done till next year at the outside. He had no problem with that. He said, I have some time sitting around. He says, so let me do this and we'll give you guys an idea of what it's going to cost. So, you know, that's kind of where we're at the moment. It's much too wet to do anything. So when it dries up a little bit, you know, I'll get back with Richie and see if we can get in there and get that corner cleaned up.
Okay, and it seems like with the passage of this $1.9 trillion bill, there's going to be monies available to the towns. So it's starting to look very positive, especially once we can get our numbers. We can make a decision on the size of the building, what will fit, and we can get moving forward with our estimates.
It probably wouldn't hurt us either to reach out to Jonathan Jacobson too, because he's pretty, in the know as far as what grants are out there,
Yes.
you know?
And he did contribute a lot of money to even get us to where we're at.
Yeah, you're right, Joe, he did.
As I think as that starts to take shape, and as we've seen in the last couple of years, now that they're starting to run events over in that field, the timing for this project couldn't be better.
And I have one other question, and I'm done. It's to Dave, and if you don't have the answer, that's great. That's fine. You can get back to me. I'm still getting calls about that trailer on Vineyard. Last time we spoke, that you sent the petition, you're waiting for them to answer. What's the status on that?
What trailer?
Somebody's got a camper and they're actually looks like they're living in it.
Oh, yeah. Okay, sorry.
And it's a safety concern. It's a health concern. It's parked. It shouldn't be parked in the front lawn. It's parked in the front yard.
Joe, what number Vineyard?
I don't want to say the number. I don't think that's right to the people, but I just want to know what the status is on it.
So I can answer that. We have reached out to the homeowner as per the code with a order to remedy. I do not know if they have responded. We have been dealing with a different enforcement issue, which was a little more intense recently, and you can ask Anthony about how that played out the other day. It wasn't very pretty. Dave Barton lost his cool on a development. So I cannot believe the town board hasn't heard those phone calls already. So I don't know the answer, Joe. I will find out from Anthony tomorrow, and I will give you a ring direct.
Yeah, because the people keep calling me, and I'm telling them the wheels of justice turn slow. I get it, but people sometimes don't understand that. And
yep. I'm with you, Joe. I'm with you 100%. We checked on it as soon as you let us know, and
I know you did. I know you did.
And like I say, I haven't heard if they've responded yet or not.
So thank you.
You got it.
If they don't respond, Dave, by a certain point, will we take them to court?
Yeah, there's actually it's actually code driven in our local code. It's code driven. So, but again, I'll find out from Anthony where we are with that.
All right, thanks, Dave.
Any other old business tonight?
Dave, I got one other question. I'm sorry. I just want to nail it before it becomes an issue later, because the weather's getting nicer and we know camps are going to open soon. And we have the camp off of South Chattahoochee that, it had some issues with some buildings they brought in without permits. Where are we at with that, or how are we going to proceed with that?
Yeah, so the owner or the representative came into my office the other day. Anthony and I met with him. We do an annual meet and greet with them at the site. Usually the chief does a separate one. I know that it's North Chattahoochee Lake Road. I know that I don't know if he's reached out to you yet, Jim, but it's imminent because they're coming this year. Evidently, Cuomo has opened up those camps. So we have a couple of permits that are still pending from them, and then the two buildings that were brought in without permits, we ultimately got permits for. And our understanding is they're going to continue to remove the old sort of rundown bungalows and replace them with prefabs. So.
Yeah, and Dave, one other quick thing. I know you guys do great safety inspections. You do my buildings very thoroughly, and I appreciate that. I drove up there, and every time somebody calls, and the camp, I really believe kids need a place to go, but it needs to be a safe place. Some of the things like the swings and certain things, when you look at it, that don't hold me to the swings, but certain things look like they're very, very old and may not be the safest? Do we do a safety inspection on that camp?
Yeah, we do. We do. So, I work for the building department, so I do the buildings. My office, usually Anthony, I, and now Elaine will do, we'll split because the camp is so big. The three of us will go up at one time and do the whole thing. And so we do the buildings and any of the infrastructure. And then they are also regulated by Department of State camps, whatever that means to them, and the local Department of Health. And it's the New York State and the Department of Health that does the swings with them, swings and other sort of non-structural amenities. They do all that stuff. So they're regulated pretty aggressively.
I appreciate the clarity because I'm sure I'll be getting phone calls on something else once it opens.
You and me both.
You will definitely be, but
Yeah, every year. Yeah,
thanks.
you got it.
Thank you, everyone. Any other old business? Seeing none, there's any new business to come before the town this evening? Seeing none, I'll move the privilege of the floor. Anyone want to speak before the town board this evening?
Well, first of all, we should say Happy St. Patrick's Day to especially Mr. Murphy, considering he's 100%.
Yes.
Let's see if I big St. Patrick's Day to everybody.
Well, to
Everybody
everybody,
knows
but I
St.
said especially to Sean.
But he's more Irish than the rest of us.
Appreciate
Well, you're Italian, Joe.
Am I? I wonder.
Hey, do you have any Irish blood on your mother's side?
Who, me? I'm 100% Naples and Sicily.
I have a tiny bit of Irish in me.
I'm afraid to do that DNA thing. Ancestry. My friends are coming back. Everything but what they thought they were.
Yep.
That's the truth. Okay.
Well, I'd like to wish all you Irishmen out there a happy St. Patty's Day, all right?
And women, Mike.
Okay, women, excuse me, yep.
And don't drink too much Guinness.
Wendy, would you like to start us off with a motion?
Yes. I think the one thing I didn't do, did we do a roll call?
Oh, you know what? We did not.
So if you don't mind, could I do a roll call? I'll call the names and if everybody just say, yes, I'm here. All right. Pizzuto,
Here.
Mazzetti, Winslow,
Here.
Akmoody,
Present.
and Mike.
I'm here.
Mike is here
Okay.
unmuted. Mike is here unmuted.
Thank you. Okay, so our first resolution tonight is motion to approve the minutes of the town board meeting of February 17th and the workshop of March 3rd at the regular town board meeting.
Motion.
Do I have a motion?
Second.
Second it.
Yeah.
Motion is second. All in favor?
Aye.
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 So carried. Resolution B.
To authorize the payment of vouchers as audited by the audit committee.
Motion.
Motion.
Mazzetti motions.
Second.
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 I have a motion and a second. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Aye. Opposed?
Aye.
So carried. C.
I just want to say about the vouchers and stuff. I need at least 2 signatures, obviously, on the vouchers. And I don't know if you guys understand, like the abstracts that go through. In the old days, they used to, when we were meeting in person for these meetings, you would be presented with a stack of abstracts
Okay.
that everybody had to sign. So we're not getting those signatures anymore.
Are you putting them where we signed? Because everything that's there I've signed. I mean,
No, it's me, Joe. It's probably me. Lenny's there. No, it's probably me and Mike, right?
No, I'm saying, it's like
No,
you
no.
guys sign your vouchers, which is great, like 2 signatures on every voucher.
Right.
But at the end of the month, when the bookkeeper does the abstract, and remember when she used to send these big piles?
yeah,
Yeah.
we gotta sign it.
Yeah, and
We're
you know
getting
what?
1 or 2 signatures on those, and I really need to have more.
Okay, so
Then they
when's
need
a good?
the whole board.
Yeah, Mike, and you know what? I haven't been going into town hall because I've been leaving pretty early for work. So when is a good time for us to do that? That we're not signing vouchers now?
I will talk to
All right,
Kendra
I'll
tomorrow
ask
because
Kendra, and I will ask Kendra when is a good time, because I feel like I'm signing them with like just maybe 2 signatures on them, and there really needs to be 5 from you guys, and then I sign off on them. And I'm comfortable that everybody has signed, or at least there are 2 signatures on the payments themselves. But, you know, I don't want the audit to come back and say you're not gonna have signatures.
So Wendy, maybe we can put a bin just for those. That seems to be working pretty well. And when they're there, we know that we have to sign, or shoot us an email. Like for me, you know, I come in either before you guys start or after you guys leave because of my work schedule. And Claire, I know that you're in the same. And Mike, thank you for picking up for me 2 days ago because I was just swamped and I couldn't get there. But for the most part, I try to come in definitely one day. I try to get in 2 days a week. I try to do like a Wednesday and a Saturday.
That's fine. It's actually the final one.
that's the
that
cover
we used
sheet.
to
Correct.
present in front of you at the town board meetings, the stack. Remember Karen?
Yes.
Katie would through those stacks. So
April,
the
monthly.
well, it's called the abstract.
Well, hopefully
It's
April,
the final before payment.
Wendy, talk to Kendra tomorrow, and we'll try to get those in a very conspicuous place. In the outside.
On a certain particular day. It's like a
Right.
certain day or two. It really is. I'm sorry that it is only a very limited amount of time, but it's a certain day or
Sure.
two that they need to go and be signed quickly and then go into my office where they get,
We get them all put on a clipboard because I
Okay,
signed
so-
them, but right.
All right, but here's the thing, you know, I'm leaving Sunday morning, right, for 2 weeks, so, I can come in Friday or Saturday, well, probably Saturday morning, is that all right? I mean.
So I
it'll
don't
be
need
there.
everybody, and it's only twice a month. And I
Okay.
don't need everybody, but I need more than one.
yeah, and maybe, you know, hopefully we can go back in April in person and we don't have to worry about it. So
Right,
hopefully it'll.
Right, I agree. So I'm just mentioning it as we do
Okay.
sort of, because you know, I don't think the state comptroller is gonna come down and say, hey, you don't have enough signatures,
They could. Kidding.
COVID for the last 14 months. But that's something I don't want them to say to us, okay?
So someone text me if I have to come in and do it, and I'll come. I'll just do it Saturday morning, okay?
Absolutely.
Or-
All right, on to
Wendy,
the next.
Wendy,
Ready?
thank you. Yes.
All right. Okay, this is my resolution. Whereas as the town board meeting on August 21st of 2020, the town board passed a resolution to install Flowbird pay stations on Haviland Road and the parking lots at 75 Haviland and 100 Haviland Road. And whereas the fees will be collected by the town clerk, now therefore be it resolved that the town board authorizes the town clerk to open a new bank account at M&T Bank for the collection of the parking fees and fines.
Do I have a motion?
I'll motion that.
Mazzetti seconds.
We have a motion and a second. Any discussion?
Yeah, Mazzetti wants to just, not really discussion, but say something. Peter, if I'm mistaken, please correct me. I just want to say, and every time we put this up, this is really a powerful thing we're doing. It's going to hopefully make the rail trail more self-sufficient, do improvements that won't cost the taxpayers. And also these meters are not going to have any cost to our town residents. So town residents won't have to pay for the parking, but they do have to register their vehicles for that to happen.
That's correct.
That was great. You initiated that, Joe. That was a great idea.
Well, it wasn't.
I think Ray had mentioned that could generate about 40 to 60,000 a year. So,
Well, Peter really ran with it. It was a discussion amongst all of us, and Peter really ran with it. So thanks, Peter.
Yes. Yes. Any other discussion? Seeing none, all in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Opposed? None, so carried 5-0. D,
Resolution to accept the resignation of Michael J. Henry, part-time police officer as of 3/10/21.
Motion. Oh,
Go ahead.
second.
Motion, there's a second. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Aye, opposed,
Aye.
so carried. E,
Resolution, whereas Mr. John Rockwell, presently employed by the Town of Lloyd Highway Department, has successfully submitted an application and possesses all qualifications to fill the water wastewater maintenance worker position at the Town of Lloyd Water and Sewer Department. Therefore, hiring Mr. John Rockwell to the position of water wastewater maintenance worker, thus changing Mr. Rockwell's title and base rate of pay from MEO at $20.83 per hour to wastewater maintenance worker at $22.06 per hour, with a start date at the Town of Lloyd Water and Sewer Departments would be March 27th at the recommendation of Adam Littman.
Do I have a motion?
Mazzetti motions.
A second?
Second.
Second.
Is there any discussion?
I have a question after we pass the resolution.
Okay, all in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Aye, opposed? Seeing so carried, 5-0.
So,
Yes, Joe.
so Sean, do we need to do a resignation, or is it just because it's a lateral, we don't have to do that?
Joe, I believe there's a resignation in the works. That's correct.
Okay.
Well, if he's going to do it, might as well accept it. Yes.
Yes.
Do we have it yet, or we don't have it yet?
Is Adam on?
Well, because he's starting on the 27th. That's why I'm asking.
Well, I'll address that with Adam tomorrow. I do know that my understanding is that there will be a resignation, as in everything else.
So Sean, we can let him start on the 27th without the resignation?
No, Joe, I expect that tomorrow, but I'll keep everybody posted.
Okay.
Yep. Okay, let's see, is there?
This is F. I'm sorry. I'm not sure why those, it was a crazy afternoon.
That's okay.
This is resolution F, and this is the executive order from Governor Cuomo on our police reform and reinvention committee.
So I guess here's what I want to ask, if is there any other comment on the public hearing that's open on this matter?
No.
So seeing none, I need a motion to close the public hearing.
I'll motion.
Mazzetti seconds.
And a second from Joe. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Opposed?
Aye.
So carried, 5-0. On the resolution, Wendy, would you be so kind, because this is so time sensitive and it's sensitive in itself, would you please read that for us?
Sure. Whereas Governor Cuomo's executive order 203 mandated that every municipality with a police agency perform a comprehensive review of current police force deployments, strategies, policies, procedures, and practices, and develop a plan to improve such deployments, strategies, policies, procedures, and practices for the purpose of addressing the particular needs of communities served by such police agency and promote community engagement, to foster trust, fairness, legitimacy, and to address any racial bias and disappropriate policing of communities of color. Whereas the Town of Lloyd, by the Town of Lloyd Police Reform and Reinvention Committee, has performed a comprehensive review of current police force deployments, strategies, policy, procedures, and practices. And whereas the Town of Lloyd Police Reform and Reinvention Committee has prepared a report plan on its findings and to improve such deployments, strategies, policies, procedures, and practices. And whereas the Town of Lloyd has consulted with stakeholders, including but not limited to the membership and leadership of local police department, members of the community,
How are you?
with emphasis in areas with.
Yeah, we're about
a second.
couple of minutes out. You want me to
Mute yourself.
on this phone?
Ready?
Hold on, yeah.
Mute yourself, please.
I'm sorry.
With high numbers of police and community interactions, interested in nonprofit and faith-based community groups, the local office of the district attorney, the local public defender, and local elected officials regarding this report and plan. And whereas the Town of Lloyd Police Reform and Reinvention Committee has offered to report plan in draft form for the public comment to all citizens in the locality, and prior to the adoption of the report plan by the town board has considered the comments submitted. And whereas the town board has considered the comments submitted, and whereas the town board now wishes to ratify the report plan, a copy of which is on file in the town clerk's office. Now, therefore,
Sorry.
the town board of the Town of Lloyd hereby ratifies the report plan prepared by the Town of Lloyd Police Reform and Reinvention Committee, a copy of which is on file in the town clerk's office of the Town of Lloyd, and the supervisor is authorized to sign.
Okay, do I have a motion?
Motion. I thought we did that.
Is there a second?
Second,
That-
we did too.
Hearing clear. Is there any discussion?
Yeah, no. And I think that, right, Joe, there's no discussion. That I think the,
We did it already.
yeah, so the one that he wanted you to read is the next one when, right.
He told her that one. He did tell her that one.
No.
He just liked to hear you read to him. When he read to him.
Y'all are torturing me. I'm not reading the next
No,
one.
listen to me.
No.
I don't think you have to read it. So let's let everybody know what it is. It's the building, right, Fred?
Yeah, we talked about it a million
Wait,
times.
wait.
What?
We have to vote on this
We
resolution. We
closed
closed
the
the public
public
hearing.
hearing.
Stop. We closed the public hearing. This is the
Now
this is
we
on
need
the,
to vote on it.
this is on the motion. That's correct. So,
The motion. I'll make the motion to close it.
We already
Do
closed it.
that.
the,
Closed.
okay,
We
The
closed
public
the
hearing
public
is- the
hearing at
public-
7:50.
Here,
I haven't
Mazzetti.
even had a drink.
stop. Not up. Let Wendy speak.
All right, we closed the public hearing at 7:50. Winslow Mazzetti, we closed the public hearing. We have now read the resolution to adopt, right?
Motion to adopt. Mazzetti.
Chief Janso, would you like to pipe in? Please.
He's saying no. Let's just.
The town boards need to vote on the policy and the plan, so we need to vote
Okay.
on that.
So
Okay, so-
Mazzetti
So we have a
motion.
motion. We have a motion by Joe. Do we have a second?
We did it already.
Claire, just say yes.
Yes. Motion.
Your second, Claire's second. There you go.
Okay, Wendy, give us a roll call vote on this, please.
Oh, my gosh. Mizuno,
Yeah.
Mazzetti,
Yes.
Winslow,
Should I say yes? Yes.
Mike,
Yes.
Lenny.
Yes.
Yes, 5-0. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
On B, I'm not going to make you read this. On B, everybody, as we all know and we've spoken about, this is the building that sits on the corner of Meadow and Commercial, and that has the outside wall, which is about ready to fall into Meadow Street. This sets the ball in motion. After we read this resolution, then the building department stepped in and they'll serve paperwork. Dave, if you want to speak to this a little bit, that's fine, but what we're here to do tonight is just to pass the resolution to move the ball in motion.
So why don't we motion it and then he can say some in discussion.
Okay, so
Can I interrupt? At some point, we need to set a date for a hearing tonight.
So why don't we do that when Dave speaks? Motion,
I'll second it.
I have a motion and a second. All in favor on the resolution?
discussion. Dave, go ahead, say what you have to say.
I like cookies.
I thought you were the professor.
It's
Professors
St.
don't eat
Patrick's Day. I haven't even had.
Professors eat apples, Dave. You eat
I
just
want
apples.
dinner.
Apples?
and I-
No, I'm not. Yeah.
Teachers get apples, not cookies.
I'll tell you what, Joe. You put those apples in a pie with some sugar and some cinnamon, and I'm all over it.
Oh, so it's the nutritious apple, nice red apple, maybe
Yeah.
a green one.
Yeah. So, long story short, I would love to see this moved to action by your regular meeting next month.
Wendy asked for a date. Dave, what's the date?
Wendy
you wanna
says
put?
no. Wendy, why are
Wendy
you
says-
saying no?
And probably because I have an interest in it, because it's on a street that I own a home. I would like to see the, what is it, the guy has to come in front of the board, Dave. I'm sorry.
Need to set up, okay.
Sooner than later.
Right, I think we have to have
Yeah, I agree with Wendy.
special.
Hold on, Dave. Dave, can I just ask a question on that? So Dave, this gets him into court, and then he can talk about how he's going to remedy it, right?
No, it gets in before you.
Okay, and then he can discuss remedying it, and then it goes to court if he doesn't.
If he doesn't satisfy it, then we can take additional actions, including the order of the removal of the building. And if he doesn't do that, we can actually do it, and then assess him for the removal and cleanup. So the hiccup is your next meeting is in
3 weeks.
2 weeks.
So the problem I have with this, and you know, Sean, I got to ask you this: do I need to recuse myself because I own the property across the street from it?
No, I wouldn't think so.
No, you don't have to recuse yourself. Actually, what we need to do right now is this order is basically we need to serve this on him, and this advises him that the town board is considering this a dangerous building and something has to be done, either remedied or removed. And it sets a public hearing. So we have to set a date. Except the workshop would be natural, but that is 3 weeks. That's the problem with that.
So
I mean,
let's
what
have
we need to
special
do is pick. So we need
Special
to pick a
meeting.
date and a time, and then we need to serve him. But it's a meeting before the town board, and then the town board would decide, to continue on. If he comes in and has some kind of plan, you could extend his time. You can work with him. But the big thing is to get him in, because right now it seems like he hasn't done anything. He's been served. He's been sort of ordered a remedy, and he's been ignoring the building department.
Well, the
So the
workshop's
big thing
the
right
first
now is
week.
the pick.
No, Joe, we're
What's that?
thinking, I did talk to Freddie today, right? Fred, you're thinking about doing a special one, Joe.
Because
So, because we're worried the building's gonna fall.
because the wall is so critical, whatever date works for us, we could have it, and we're virtual. We can come up with maybe with a date tonight in a week or more, whatever, for a special meeting. It won't be very long, for a date that works for all of us and a time that works for all of us, that we can have a special meeting on this issue.
Well, next week I am booked on Wednesday, so
That's okay. If we go, is there any day next week? Wendy, do we have a timetable for this, or could it just?
Why does it have to be no, Monday's
It does
Friday.
not have to be a Wednesday. It can
Right.
be any time. He needs, I believe, Sean, he needs 5 days notice he needs to be
what happens
served
once-
5 days
once we
before
pick
the
the-
hearing.
Right. We have to serve him no more than 5 days before the hearing. We have to serve him.
So where does that put us? No more than 5 days before. So
Well, I mean,
that,
you could
When
do it
the
next
service
week. You
happens.
could do it the week after. It doesn't have to be a Wednesday.
listen,
Um,
set it when you guys need to set it. If I can make it, I can make it. The problem is
as long as we have everybody else, right? You're right, Joe.
the next week is just, I have the state audit for my job. I've got a lot going on next week.
So,
So Dave, Dave
Dave,
and
what
Sean,
are
are
you
we
thinking?
okay to set this for next Wednesday at like a workshop hour?
David?
Sure, it'll be a miracle we can serve him then, but
well, then-
evidently,
So that's fairly quick.
Do
I think the
you want
last
us,
week of the month might be a good week. I mean, if anybody can do it, the week after next.
well, Dave, let me ask you this. Why don't, maybe you should serve him and then let me know, and then we could then we have 5 days to set a
Wait
meeting.
a minute. I don't think Dave serves him. I think we have to,
Oh,
Sean, you
Okay.
need to speak on this.
Well, we need to serve him.
Can I ask Dave a question?
wait a minute. Let Sean
This is Lenny. Can I
Sean-
ask Dave a
Please.
question?
Hang on 1 second.
Do
One
we
second.
know where to get a hold of this guy?
Listen to me. We'll let Sean finish, please.
I talked to Anthony. Anthony believes that he doesn't know how to reach him, and he believes if he calls him and tells him that he has paperwork that he needs to come in and pick up, that he will do that. And if he does that, if he signs an admission of service, we would be fine. So that's the plan. Based on my conversation with Anthony, that's the plan I have right now, is to have Anthony call the gentleman and have him come in and pick it up, which Anthony indicated to me he believes he will do.
And if he doesn't, Sean, if he doesn't,
Then why don't we start there and then move the ball if that
you need to
doesn't
give him
work?
a date.
you have to give it there.
The service has to requires a date.
And you have
Yeah,
Just
so
like
I
an
would
appearance
say-
ticket, it requires a date.
All right, so then we need to establish a date.
And you have to post it
Yep.
5 days in the paper before, unless it's an emergency, right, Sean? Does this constitute
an
an emergency?
Well, it's a public hearing, yeah. So I would suggest the week of the 29th would be the earliest you want to set it.
And Sean, can I just ask a question? Is it like other things when you try and serve it, you try and serve him 3 times at 3 different times? If he doesn't pick it, you can proceed if we mail it registered?
Yes, if we're not able to serve him, we can serve him certified mail. Yes.
All right. So I think the following week's better because it gives you more time to get your
Okay.
postings and everything else you need to do.
So are we all in agreement that we'll set this date at the moment for I guess I don't have a calendar in front of me. I assume the week of the 29th is a Wednesday.
The 31st is the last Wednesday of
And
the
that's
month.
set, and that's set for you anyway, Fred. You have that in our bylaws. I think that the last Wednesday of the month is reserved for emergency meetings, so that would fit, that would work.
I believe that's correct, Wendy.
That's correct.
So we can go ahead and tentatively set that date for a special meeting. We'll get the notices out, and then should be Sean and Dave will work out the details as to get him served.
And what time do you guys want to do it at?
You
What
pick.
works best for everybody? 4 or 5?
To me, around 7. Oh, I don't. 6, 7. But set whatever time you need to. I will do my best to get there. If I can do it, I can do it.
Let's go with 6. That should, and hopefully that works for everybody.
How many votes? Do we have to have the full board?
No, we don't, Mike. And so if Joe can't make it, let's set it for 5 because I'm actually off. And then if Joe can't make it, we still have everybody, right? We all agree.
Yeah.
Is that all right, Joe?
Now, yeah, and I may be off that. I have off that week. It depends if I have the state audit. I don't know what's going to happen this week. So, and next week, it's next week. So might have to go in the following week, but I should be okay to attend it, but I don't want to make any promises.
So Wednesday, Wednesday, the 31st at 5 o'clock.
Yeah.
Okay. Is there any other business to come before the board tonight? I have our attorney on the phone. So we're going to go
on this date.
We're going to go into executive.
We have to vote on it, Fred. We didn't vote on it. We were in discussion.
Okay, there's a motion and a second. Can I have a vote, please? Wendy?
Yes.
Pizzuto,
Yes.
Mazzetti,
Yes.
Winslow,
Yes.
Mike,
Yes.
Lenny.
Yes.
So
5-0, carried.
we're setting a hearing. And Sean, help me with this. We're setting a hearing on the matter of the 9 Commercial Avenue for the 31st day of March at 5 o'clock.
Correct.
Dave, you're looking at me. Yes?
I'm not looking at you.
All right.
To bring this gentleman in.
Okay. All right. I'm going to need a motion to go into executive session.
Is there any motions?
I'll second it.
Second, I have a motion in the second. Okay, everybody else, we're going. I have Stephen on the phone. I'm going to put him on speaker. We're going to go into executive session. I'll wait for everybody to get off.
I'm sorry, you're going to do executive session in the WebEx call?
We have to.
I thought.
Well,
Yeah.
how else can we do it?
You could have Stephen call you. You could call Stephen, I guess, conference it that way.
Well, I think
That's typically how you do it.
Well, Stephen could call me. How do I get him to everybody else?
I'm
You
always
could add a call and do a conference call from your phone.
Do you have to keep it on? You have to host it,
Yes,
Dave?
we-
Is that the problem? You do, right?
Yeah, look, I don't care. I mean, I'm just gonna walk away, and you can trust me that I'm walking away. I guess I don't know.
Yeah, mute your.
Well,
That's
yeah,
fine. Just turn
will
your
it be
volume off,
secure?
Okay.
Can you guarantee it's going to be secure if you have it on this WebEx?
Not at all.
Well, I can give you guys I can do a Google Meet right now with you guys. Do a Google invite.
This is for Wendy and Margaret. Stephen said to send him the link so he can get in, so he can get on this call and everybody else can get out. Does that work, Dave?
Legally, I have no idea. I don't know that I can protect the meeting.
We don't know, Stephen.
Sean doesn't think so.
We're not sure how we protect the call because it's a Zoom call.
The
We're all
web-
sitting here on a Zoom call.
No, we've had
Yeah,
other
maybe-
executive
maybe-
sessions in this, haven't we? We've done other executive sessions in this.
No, never. Not while I've hosted.
Maybe Steven can set up a conference call.
That's exactly what he should do.
You know what? I'll do. You know what, Freddie, you can add all of us to a call on your cell phone. Do you want me just to do it?
I don't think, how can you, I don't think you can add that many people,
Freddie,
Joe.
I think you can. I've added like 4 people, 5 people before. Let's try it.
Okay.
So I'm going to call you first, Claire. Are you on?
Yeah, I'm on.
Hold on. I'm going to add Mike.
Hello.
Hey, Mike. hold on. All right, we got Mike. I'm going to add Lenny. Lenny picks up.
Lenny, answer the phone.
Because he's muted. Does everybody know enough to, everybody else know they need to get off this call?
Yeah, just stay on until we get everybody on. Lenny's not answering his phone. He's on his computer. He's answering.
Thanks for calling.
All right, hold on. Let me do Freddie. Let me try Lenny again.
Yeah, I've got Stephen on my call.
I mean, I can do Google Meet, but I don't think I
No,
got.
just see what you do this way.
I can do a Zoom with you guys right now.
I could probably figure that out too.
Joe, that's probably the best route.
Hold on a second.
I have them both, so.
I'm gonna hang up from all of you. Let me do a Zoom. Hold on.
Okay.
What time is it?
It's 8:10, Joe.
Let me get for 8:15.
All right. Well, this call is going to be regarding the labor, right?
It's going to be regarding contracts.
Personnel.
Okay, so you don't need me, right? So I'm going to hang up if that's okay.
Yeah, that's fine, Sean.
It's holiday. Bye, Sean. Enjoy.
I'm going to have my first Guinness right now.
Hello?
Len, you didn't answer your phone. What are you doing?
I had an escape that I had to return.
Oh, sorry, Len. We're going to do a Zoom, Len, so that's what we're waiting. Joe's going to send it to everybody, and then all you guys are going to do is just click on it, and then then ask to join the meeting, okay? Did they download that to you, Len?
I hope
Pardon?
so.
Joe, do you know if they did that on his computer?
I don't know what they did. I think the guy wants. What the hell is my password? Hold on.
Yes, Zoom is on here.
All right, so Joe's going to send us all a tag, right? Through email, probably, right, Joe? And then we're all going to click on it and join into that meeting, get us off of this one.
All right, so I don't need to click out of this one. I just need to wait.
You got to wait until he knows that he sent it to everybody.
Okay.
Wait, just give me a second. Cause I don't, my email, I got this new thing for email.
You actually all might be about to be alone on this meeting, so you might be able to do it here if you trust the medium. I don't know that I.
Who's RC?
Richard Childress.
Richard's got to say goodbye. Yep. Caller user 5 is who?
Mike, can you say something, please?
Yes, I'm here. I don't know if I'm going to get the link here.
Hold on, Mike.
All right, so then it's user 5. Who's 5?
Is there someone else on the phone?
That's not Lenny?
No, I'm on a computer.
Okay. I don't know who user 5 is either.
You gotta
I
wait
have
then.
a phone. I'm using them.
I just expelled them.
Okay, good. Thank you.
Okay. Stephen,
Mike, you still
User
there?
3. Is that Mike? User
Still
3?
there.
Mike's here.
User 3 is Mike.
Okay, are we good?
I'm here.
You are good here.
Okay, I'm gonna put, Stephen, you're gonna go on speakerphone now. We're
Just don't start yet. Let me finish my piece, and then I'll give you the
Let me know when-
the go.
okay. Right there, Stephen, hold on.
Sorry, just give me a second. I gotta make sure that I can keep this thing locked.
You on, Steve? Steven?
Um,
Oh, okay, hold on. I'm gonna put you on speakerphone. Okay, as soon as Dave clicks off, we're just down to us.
yeah, give me
I'm
one
going
second. I
to
have
go
to
grab
stop.
the contracts. I'll be right back.
I have to stop the recording. Give me 1 second.